We're coming back, week 2 of Triple B. I'm very insecure about this class because it's something different than I usually offer. So I would love you guys' feedback via email, whatever it might be, as we continue to kind of move along with it. I think this week is a little bit more of like the traditional yoga coming in. So I'm looking at how to find a good balance and let this be something that works for a good group of us as it unfolds. Take a comfortable seat. Bring the palms down on the thighs and sit up really tall in your spine. So we get a moment here of centering. Bring us into attention and awareness of breath. And if you're following along with the monthly mantra, the monthly inspiration, my energy creates my reality. Where will you put your energy in this class? Just deep inhale, full exhale. One more time, nice full inhale, complete exhale. Open the eyes and change to all fours. As you come to all fours, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, do cat and cow. Move the spine up and down here. A lot of the focus for today's class is around the core, the abdomen, strengthening the abdomen and the spine, the low back, mid back, upper back, that whole center core container of our body. For strength, you also need mobility. So just finding some room here through cat and cow. And then change to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back. In down dog, pedal out the feet. Shake the head a little bit. And then press evenly down through the heels. Press evenly down and forward in the hands. Couple of big breaths, full stretch. Look in between your hands and step your right foot all the way through for a low lunge. Take the right hand up to the sky in a twisted lunge. Lower the right hand back down. Step all the way back to downward facing dog. And do it all on the second side. Step the left foot through to your low lunge. And lift the left hand up. Nice. Lower the left hand down. Step all the way back to dog pose. And take a nice bend in the knees and walk your hands backwards to your feet. At the end of the mat, ragdoll pose. Let your head hang torso long. Hold on to the elbows. Sway a little bit from side to side. Try to be heavy and released here in the upper body. This one always feels great to me after the night's sleep. Okay, we'll slowly roll on up to standing. As you do that, shoulders up and back a couple of times, and shoulders forward and down. A few rounds of our triple B sun salutations here. Lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, and then walk it out to downward facing dog. Take the right hand towards the left ankle, a little bit of a twist. Set the hand back down. Do it on the second side. Left hand reaches towards the right ankle, look underneath the right armpit, and then set the hand back down. Come forward to plank pose. It's for slow mountain climbers, right knee, right knee, and left knee. Step up to a squat, right foot, left foot, little pause in the center, and then hands go back down and step back. Walk the hands to your feet. Stand up, reach to the sky. That's one. Few more here. Exhale, fold back down to your toes. Walk it out to dog pose. Starts to get just a little quicker. Reach to the right and down. Reach left hand back and then down. Forward to plank pose. 4 mountain climbers. Step up. Pause for just a sec. And then step back. Walk in, stand all the way up, arms to the sky. And then we do it again. Exhale, forward fold. Walk it out. Twist underneath to the right and to the left. Mountain climbers, maybe continuing to get just a little quicker. You could do 2 steps or the jump forward and back 2 times. And then you walk the hands to the feet. Stand up, arms to the sky. Keep going. Exhale, forward fold. Downward facing dog. Twist, right hand to the left. Left hand to the right. Mountain climbers. Step or jump to the squat. Walk your hands into your feet. Stand it up. We've got one last one. Exhale, forward fold. We're slowing this last one down again. Downward facing dog and hold. And then take your dog pose a little bit shorter rather than that full length. And then do the twist underneath. Get your heels a little closer or right against the ground. So really full in twist here. Left hand to the right side. Find your plank pose and hold it steady. Pull the right knee in and hold. Round the upper back a little bit. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step the right foot back. Pull the left knee in. Again, that little round in the upper back is fine. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Step it back. Full squat. Step your right foot forward, left foot forward, toes a little turned out so you can sit as low as works in the hips right now. Lift the chest, hands in prayer. Find a breath in. A breath out. Place the hands back to your mat. Step back to plank. Squeeze in the glutes. Squeeze the heels in. Lengthen your tailbone, tone the belly. Look a little forward rather than straight down. Lower your knees. Press back to child's pose here. And then walk the hands over to the right side. Walk the hands across the center and over to the left side. Back to the middle. Again, downward facing dog. And then bend your knees a lot and walk your hands backwards to your feet. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Bring the palms together, center of the chest. Breath in, breath out. Breath in and breath out. Okay, hopefully heart rate up a little bit, warmer in the body, ready for the bulk of the movement. I'm using a light set of weights this morning for these next several exercises. I think 2, 3, up to 5 pounds max. Other things to use would be like a water bottle, or nothing at all is fine as well. Okay. 4 standing poses reimagined with our weights here. Take a wide stance, arms out. Extend from the shoulders out to the hands. And then wherever that wide stance is, pull it in. Just a little bit. Okay. Turn the right toes out and lower the right weight and hand as if it's going to move towards that leg. Top arm to the sky. I want you to keep your eye on the top hand. So turn and look up. These are sometimes called a wind maker or windmill. Lower, lower, lower until your right hand is about mid-calf. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other and keep looking up and keep that top hand towards the sky. And then stand back up. Okay? If this top hand weight is too much, set it down. Go lighter if you have something lighter. Okay? We're doing this 2 more times on the same side. Go halfway down your shin. It's not as far down as full triangle. This is to strengthen the obliques, the sides of our abdomen. And then come all the way back up. Good, and we do it 1 more time. Halfway down, it's a shorter stance than our triangle pose so that we can harness that strength in the inner thighs. You want to feel a lift in the pelvic floor. Come all the way back up. Both hands can go to the waist to give you a little reprieve and switch to the other side. Now, left hand, I've got palm open. Set the bottom weight first. Get strong in the legs. Turn your gaze up, and maybe you stay there, or add the top hand. You don't want that top hand to be back behind you. You're thinking straight up, one line from your shoulder to the weight to the hand. And then come upright, keeping the top hand as is. Good. Eyes on that top hand. Go back down. Take in a few breaths. Come all the way back up. 1 more time. Each of these is 3 repetitions. Think long spine. That's it. Come stand up. Safely bring both weights back to the hips and turn the toes. Okay, we are going back to the first side. Turn your right toes out and bend the right knee. This time it's a full wide stance. So kind of heel toe your feet out. Elbow to the knee. So you're thinking side angle pose here is what we're looking at. Side angle pose. Top hand gets to stay as is at the waist. doesn't have to move. We're using the bottom hand here, just a bicep curl. In and out, nice and slow, 3 times is it. In and out, and in and out. Come all the way back, straighten the legs, turn on your toes. So set up first, think side angle, elbow to knee. You're already in like a half curl, and then fully extend out and do 3 full curls all the way in and down. The elbow on the knee is helping to keep us from swinging the weight. This is 1 over time. We'll add in a little bit more. Okay, come on back. Heel toe the feet all the way in. Give it a little bit of a shake. Last week we did this exercise. Think of it like a floating half moon. Bend your knees a little bit and take your hands down again to about mid-calf. This is the bottom point of the pose. Bring all of your weight to the right leg. Tap your left foot back behind you. Lift your left leg up. So if you want to hold and sustain pose, it's going right here. Try for a straighter right leg while still keeping the hips square. If you'd like to add some movement, we're going to stand up. RDL, you lift the left leg up, hinge at the hip, and take the dumbbells to about mid-shin. Stand back up. Do it once more is all. Think abdomen engaged to help you stand. Okay, switch to the second side. Stand on your left foot. Bend both knees. Right toes stay on the floor, back behind you. Hinge forward enough that your dumbbells are framing the mid-shin. And again, bottom half of the pose, you stay there. Lift the right leg and stay there. More challenge points, straighten or go towards a straighter left leg, stay there. Last bit of challenge, stand all the way up. Let the hip hinge take you over. Think pendulum swing, stand up, leg goes down. Do it one more time. As you hinge at the hip, take it just a mid-shin, not further down. And then stand up. Okay, one more standing pose. Take again a wide-legged stance. Turn the right toes out and rebend the right knee. So warrior 2 in the legs. We already did this with the side angle pose, exact same thing. This time we are swimming in the arms. Generally, lighter weights are good, but we've only got 3 sets, so probably what we have in our hands is gonna work. You're gonna swim forward, come towards shoulder height, but not wider. Take the arms out and down. That's 1. We go out and up, down to the front, round and down, that's 2. And we've got a 3rd. Think just shoulder height. Bring them together, straight down to the center, up, out, and down. Change the feet, second direction. The whole time, press feet down and away from one another. Keep the shoulders right over the line of the hips. We'll swim out to the side, into the center. From the center, out and around. 3 times here. Your arms weigh something, so absolutely can be done on its own here. 1 more set. Straighten the leg, turn the toes parallel to each other. Wide-legged forward fold. Set your weights down as you get there. Wide-legged forward fold. Fingertips to the earth, head reaching towards the earth. Nice stretch through the back of the legs here. Bring the hands to the hips, press down into your feet, and come on upright. Often said that every single pose in yoga is an ab strength pose, a core steadying pose, but nothing more so than balance. So we're gonna work standing on one leg here. Press down through your right foot and pull your left knee up. No weights needed for this section. Hold on to the front of your shin and stand up as tall as possible. Using the same hand as the lifted foot, reach down and hold onto your foot. Stand up taller again. Notice what's happening to that standing leg. Try to press it down through the floor so that the rest of you can lift up from it. Other hand can be your balance, maybe out to the side. Hold on to a wall or something if it's nearby, and try stretching the extended leg. To or towards straight. It's not about getting the legs straight. It's about finding your strength in the core, steadiness in the center. Good. Let's set it all the way down. Even how we transition out of the pose can matter and to help keep us sustained. Left knee up. Other hand, wherever it's most helpful. Let's hold on to the left foot. So I've wrapped my elbow to the inside of the leg, but hold on to the outside of your foot. Stay and work there, or go for a more extended position. Think lift, lift, lift. The further the leg stretches out, the more I want you to lift through your shoulders and head. Very nicely done. Both feet back down to the ground. Take both arms up overhead. Chair pose, bend into both knees, sit into your thighs. Take it all the way forward here so that your belly is very close to or right against the thighs. Sit even lower, bring the weight back into your heels. Now keep where you are on the legs, but try to lift your torso a little more vertical. Good. Can you pick your right knee up and hold on below your foot in this crouched position? Almost round the back like that cat pose. It builds strength in the core. And then kick the foot out in front of you and go for a straighter standing leg as works. Bowing sage. Pull the knee back in and stand on 2 feet. Lift both arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees. Go into chair pose. You can look down at the floor and try to pull your left knee up into your chest. Take the hands below that left foot. Go for a straight standing leg. Try that one first here on this side. And then kick the extended leg out. We do what we can. Stay with it. 2 feet back down to the ground. One more time, power pose, arms overhead, bend the knees, sit into the legs. Bring the torso down close to the thighs. This time shifting to warrior 3, all the weight to the right leg, tap the left toes back. It's where we started in that floating half moon where we used the weights before. Now left leg goes up. No weights, but full extension through arms and legs. Go as straight as you can, keeping the hips square to the ground. Warrior 3. Tap the left toes back down, bring it in. Slowly transition to the other side. Give the weight to the left foot. Find stability in the left hip. Pull it more back rather than out to the side. Lift the right foot off of the ground. Go for a straighter standing leg as works. And back, chair pose. stand all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Downward facing dog, walk the hands forward and the feet back. Shake the head a little bit. 1 minute to reset. Connect in again to breath, the energy, experience that's important to you for this class. All right, get excited. Plank series is next. Come forward to plank pose. Shoulders right on top of the back of the wrist. This entire series, try it from the toes or from the knees. You can switch in between both. Find more weight here in the horseshoe of your hand, meaning your thumb and your first finger, that more inner edge of the hand. Turn to the outer edge of your right foot, the inner edge of your left. So 2 feet on the ground for side plank. Lift your left arm up to the sky. If you're looking down, make sure that there's a little bit of an angle, just some angle of your bottom shoulder away from the wrist. We want it moved back in an angle from the wrist, just slightly. 2 hands to the floor, full plank, straight arms, toes or knees. And then switch to the other side, outer edge of the left foot, inner edge of the right. Take the right hand up. If you feel as though your weight is dropping down into your wrist and shoulder, try it on your knees instead of on your feet and see if that helps to relieve the extra pressure. And then how can you stay there as you continue to build the pose? Okay, full plank, 2 hands down to the mat here. And lie flat down onto your belly. Cobra, press into your hands and your feet. Peel your chest up, should feel pretty nice there. Lower it down. Press back to child's pose for a moment. Give your hands, wrists, shoulders a full break. Same plank series a second time, but on our forearms instead of on the straight arms. So as you come forward again, set it up, forearms down. The hands can stay open as wide as the shoulders or interlace the hands for a little bit more ease or control. And again, you're on toes or knees. Try looking forward still so that you get the entire length of the spine. And now take your right hand and hold on to the left wrist so that that right forearm crosses the top of the mat. Spin to the outer edge of the right foot. Try stacking the feet this time if it felt okay before. And left arm up to the sky. Now, optional hip dips, hip down and up, down and up, down and up. Come back to the forearms. You can cross the forearms kind of like an equal side and then change to the second side. Right arm up to the sky. Upcoming weeks, maybe we'll add a weight on the top hip. That's where it gets really fun in those hip dips. Do it about 3-4 times. Come back to full plank on the forearms. Stay with it here together for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You've got this. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees, press back to child's pose. And then come to have a seat on your mats. Just sit on your butt with your feet out in front of you. For the month of November, all of the classes are inspired by our Yoga Hour Sequence 1. Cosmic abs are in that sequence. Looks like this. Do it with me. You start in boat pose. And then lean your knees to the right and your arms to the left and pedal. Keep the pedaling and switch sides. And I've got all of my weight just on the left hip. The right hip is kind of floating in the air. Go back to the first side. The slower you go and the more forward and back you make your torso move, tends to make this harder. And then back to the second side. Into the center for boat pose. And then lower the legs. Try Baddha Konasana for a moment, our butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Lift the chest. It's a nice counter pose. Open up through the stretch of the inner thighs here. Good relief for the hip flexor. Okay, hold on to your outer knees and pull it in. So the next thing is either doing cosmic abs again, or you're gonna pick up one weight and do a little bit of a Russian twist. Feet go off of the floor. Similar idea as you lean over towards the right hip, we're taking our weight to the left. Across the center, lean your legs to the left and take the weight to the right. Across the center. Set the feet down and do the same thing. Just dip the weight to the left, across the center, to the right, across the center, to the left, and center, and right, and center. 4 more of the same, or lift your feet back again, but keep the legs steady. So each of these is kind of adding a new challenge element for Russian twist with the feet up. Set it all down. Weight again goes out to the side. Take the counter pose. Stay really tall in the spine. Okay, and again, bring the knees in. In sequence 1, right after cosmic abs, we do leg lifts. Have a weight handy by your side, but don't use it for the first round here. Lie down onto your back, and I'm going to give you those steady progressions as well for the leg lifts. Take your hands underneath your seat. That'll give us the most support, and legs straight up to the sky. First progression is one leg at a time. Lower down, come back up, lower down, and come back up. Specifically targeting each side of those front abdominal muscles. And then if you keep the feet together, there's more work. Lower down and come back up. Don't swing the legs. Take it nice and slow so that you feel the work. The second progression today from here, take the hands out from your seat and then do a little crunch. Lift the fingertips up to your toes. More like a V up here. Lower the hands over your head as you lower the feet. And then take it all back to the center And lift and do the crunch in the shoulders again. Open it up and lift and crunch. Open up, lift and crunch. So you have these two different progressions to keep with, work with, or even more, grab one light weight, hold on to each end of the weight, make sure you have a firm, safe grip. Open up and close. And for me, it's two distinct movements. It's the crunch at the top in the upper body, then the open and close. Crunch, open, and close. One more in whichever progression you have chosen. Safely set the weight back down and build yourself back to a seated position, and then keep rolling over your legs until you come to kneeling. Here in kneeling, tuck your toes under. From the last bit in which we're crunching in, I want us just to open full here. Take the arms to the sky, full open body, front body stretch. And let your butt go back about halfway, so it's above your heels, but you've leaned back just a little bit in your thighs and seat. Take the right hand and find your right heel. And then keeping that connection of hand and heel, can you lift back out of the hips? And then sit again about halfway down. Take both arms up and switch. Hold on. Left hand to the left heel. From the hips, press forward and open. I find this to be a little more doable, safer way for the shoulders, for most of us to come into camel pose. And then you could try it holding on to both heels, and again, re-extending hips forward. Strong core means a strong back, open front. Come back to neutral. Go all the way back down to your back and set up for bridge pose. Bridge pose is the last thing that can incorporate a weight. Since we have lighter weights, I'm gonna go with grab both of them, kind of on those bony hip points. If it's a traditional dumbbell, you're gonna point the dumbbell straight up towards the sky. Of course, the weights are optional. You could do good old bridge pose without them. Let's all press our feet, shoulders head down into the mat, and lift the hips. Try to look straight up here, not off to the side. And if you're thinking, hey, I know this is no big deal. We've only got 5 minutes left of class. I've got this. Add a little bit of a pulse at the top. Think just the top of the pose. Pulse up, 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 and up. Do it up 4 more times. And then slowly release. Safely set the weights down. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Point the right knee out to the side. Thread the needle. Pull the knee in towards the chest. Enjoy the hold and stretch. And then lower the left foot down, and let's give it a go on the second side. Left ankle crosses over, knee out to the side, and pull the right leg in. Both feet to the floor. Take your hands out towards a T shape. Imagine that you're sitting in a very 90-degree chair. Take your knees right over the line of the hips, and then the heels as high as the knees. Without changing the angle of your leg, tap one toe down and then lift it back up. Second side down and lift. So you're not bending the knee to do this, you're lowering and lifting the entire leg, side to side. Try to keep your mid to low back engaged down onto the mat. As you move, keep tapping. Just for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower both knees very slowly to the right. Hover, 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 and then let them drop down all the way towards the ground. Passive twist here, meaning you're not having to do anything more for just a few breaths. And then take the knees across the center and over to the second side. Hover, 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 and then drop. Bring it all back into the center. Give yourself a nice firm squeeze and hug. Gratitude for doing the good work in Triple B. And then find yourself for 1 minute in Shavasana. If you prefer to sit up here for a minute of meditation, do that. Be as still, as kind, as soft to yourself as possible here for 60 seconds. And make your way back to a seated position, if not already there. Before we close, I have one more exercise for us. This is to strengthen our transverse abdominals. A lot of people will call their transverse abdominals like the seat belt muscles that go across, kind of below the belly. They knit us all together. I want you to take your hands to your ribs here. You're holding that band of transverse abdominals that's trying to close in towards the center. And simply breathe out into the hands. And then the exhale knits back in together. Inhale and press the hands out. Exhale and let it knit back in. So big breath, breathe out into the hands. As you knit back in, come about halfway in, and I want you to hold there so you have a little bit of spaciousness to imagine pressing out to the sides, out to the front, out to the back. Keep the breath contained in that mid space. And I want you to count out loud with me for the count of 20. Every time you count, it's like you're pressing just slightly out into your hands. There's not a wrong way to do it. Just try. Here we are for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then you take a big breath again. Push out into the hands, expand the ribs, and knit it all the way in. Release, come back to your natural breath. And then nod the chin down, bring the palms together. Full thanks and gratitude for this time for practice to yourself, each other, and good do. Thanks to the practice itself. Namaste.